everyone, I am MechaRandom42, your favorite YouTube harpy, and as you can probably guess by the title of this video, yes, Doctor Who, our latest doctor, Jodie Whittaker, she needs some balls. And I'm not saying, before we start commenting, I'm not saying she needs to be a man. Traditionally, the Doctor has always been a man, but traditionally also the Doctor has one sort of quality. And I'm not talking what's down between his legs. I'm saying he has a pair of balls, right? He has the authority, and he has the ability to say, yeah, I want to try and help and save everybody, but if you're a Dalek, I'm going to murder your face off. Or any other sort of enemy that he comes in contact with that won't back down. The Doctor has always traditionally been this sort of character that you want on your side, because when he's not on your side, he can be intimidating as all crap. And that's kind of where I don't see with Jodie Whittaker. So this is something I just kind of stumbled upon when I was looking through articles and things to cover on the channel. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. This author seems to pretty much say a lot of what I was saying about Jodie Whittaker just needing to have the character have just that authority, that pair of stones that kind of says, you know what, I'm in charge and you're going to listen to me. And I kind of have a feeling that as a woman, it is going to be a fine line to not have an actress come across as bitchy but authoritative, and there are actors who can certainly do this sort of performance. I haven't seen it so far in Jodie Whittaker, but definitely actresses like Claudia Christian, Lucy Lawless, a lot of your very tough, authoritative sort of female characters absolutely can you can have that sort of character without coming across bitchy, for sure. I hopefully Jodie Whittaker can pull it off, because if she doesn't have that sort of personality change or arc or something happen, I think that's going to be the death nail of the show. I think that's going to be where the show fails. So let's just get right into this article here I found. And this comes from IndieWire. It came out today. So Liz Shannon Miller. Doctor Who, the first female doctor, is fine enough, but she needs to get scary. Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with that. After 50 plus years, TV's favorite time traveler is at his or her best when she worries us. Yeah, I can actually get on board with that statement. The Doctor is one of pop culture's most long-lasting characters, and always a deliberate enigma. Over the last 50 plus years, the time-traveling alien hero of Britain's longest-running sci-fi series Doctor Who has had an increasingly complex backstory, but he, or as of this year she, has always been a creature that's somewhat above us humans, smarter, wiser, tougher. However, now that we're halfway through the first season of Jodie Whittaker taking on the role of the Doctor, the first woman to man the controls of the TARDIS, there's something missing. Actually, River could fly the TARDIS as well, but that's okay. We'll pretend you saw Doctor Who before. The Doctor hasn't displayed the heavy metal we know and love, and without that, the character can't give us her full potential. Through his many iterations, many of the show's best moments have come from times in which the Doctor proves to be flat-out terrifying. His/her power is immense, and that power can be used to celebrate the best in those he or she encounters. Or it could just as well be otherwise. But so far, Whittaker is still missing the moment afforded every other modern-era Doctor, when the audience was forced to reckon with just how destructive the Doctor could be. For Christopher Eccleston's introduction as the Ninth Doctor, he bellowed at living plastic evil invading London shopping malls. When David Tennant proved his place, he used a Satsuma to drop an alien warlord to his death. Matt Smith put on his bow tie and flat out told another invader, basically run. And Peter Capaldi, well, he was scary from the beginning. And that is why I really liked Peter Capaldi's Doctor. He was scary. He was a badass. The writing was atrocious, though. Oh, God. So I gotta address this with Peter Capaldi's Doctor. I really wanted to like the Doctor as Peter Capaldi because, yeah, the guy can be intimidating. The guy comes off as very smart, very brilliant, very wise. All traits I absolutely insist on in the Doctor. He comes across very funny, which, yes, the Doctor can be very funny. He comes across as somebody you can't take your eyes off of. to me anyway, for the Doctor. And I don't mean that in like an attractive or sexual sort of way. I mean that as like a charisma, like a charm, like a celebrity walking into the room, or a very wealthy person with a lot of confidence, somebody you might not even recognize, but you just kind of they walk into a room and you just kind of stare at them, you follow where they go, just unknowingly. And that's the type of quality that Jodie Whittaker just doesn't quite have as the Doctor. She's very much playing the Doctor as this sort of Kristen Wiig, awkward at best sort of character. She really reminds me a lot of the Ghostbusters Kristen Wiig character from the Ghostbusters 2016 movie. But, Jodie Whittaker, if she is given better writing, I think I'm going to attribute it to the writing. If she's given moments where she can absolutely be terrifying, I think she could probably be one of the better Doctors. Because, yeah, I totally agree. We need somebody more terrifying. We need that authority. We need to know that we might not know what to do, but this person does, because they're the person you follow with your eyes. They're the person you're scared by, you're intimidated by. They're the person that commands authority. She doesn't do that yet. She just doesn't do that yet. And with Peter Capaldi, I absolutely thought he could do that, except every time when Clara was telling him basically, oh, you're just a man, you don't know anything. You're just a 900-year-old alien, but I know better because I'm Clara and I'm a cute woman. And that's one of the things I really, really hated about Clara on Doctor Who. And that kind of kills a lot of the Matt Smith era for me as well, was just Clara. She was written as so much of a know-it-all that anytime the Doctor was going to be scary or intimidating or brilliant, she almost had to kind of go in and almost cock-block him, almost neuter him to the point where he couldn't be that amazing or brilliant. And then that's back to the point of the Jodie Whittaker stuff again, where we need some of these moments in Doctor Who that make you kind of glued to your television, to make you stare at this character and want to not take your eyes off this character because they're going to do something awesome or terrifying or brilliant. And we just don't have those moments so far in this new season. Anyway, back to the article. Moments like this define Doctor Who. Classic superheroes stay firmly on the side of good, but the Doctor is fully capable of harsh choices and rough decisions. While that character is often capable of mercy, that's not a given, and that's what makes him/her unique. And yes, it feels gendered that the first female Doctor has to go truly baller on screen. I don't think it feels gendered. I think every Doctor needs to go truly baller on screen. Whittaker has definitely found her own perspective in moments that require the Doctor to step up and be authoritative. She barely has done that. And there's no denying that the 13th Doctor is a boss. In last Sunday's episode, The Witchfinders, the Doctor, as played by Whittaker, rages beautifully against the machine that led to the witch trials in the 17th century Lancashire. She kind of did. I mean, she still could have been a little more intimidating. She still could have been... Here's the thing. There's one thing that did bother me about this episode, and I'll leave my review in the description below for the episode Witchfinders. Jodie Whittaker did have this line that she delivered where, gee, if I were a man, or if I were still a man, you guys would just listen to me. I almost wish she would have played it more oblivious. I kind of wish she would either played it oblivious and just still kind of kept giving orders like the Doctor would. Like, oh, I'm sorry. No, you're listening to me. This paper says, my psychic paper says you listen to me. I wish she would have just kind of given them just a little look or a nod or a line or something to King James, when he would give her a line of, yes, you're just a woman, though, with your emotions and your moods. And I wish she would have just kind of given him a line of, really, we're still doing this in this day and age? Okay, well, you're going to get over this really soon, or we're going to have a problem. Just something. And that's just off the top of my head. I'm not a writer. You could have had, just an hour or something, or a clever person come in with some line to just kind of put him in his place, showing that it didn't matter if she was a woman or not. I don't know. I mean, I guess I can forgive it for taking place in the 17th century, where, yes, they would be kind of nuts about a woman, But at the same time, they also had some very ethnic groups or group members in their party dressed very oddly. So they would have probably made more of a big deal of everybody in that group, especially with the way they're all dressed and yeah, like the diversity in this new season wasn't so much in place at this sort of point in time where they would just be okay with it. But that's a tangent for another day, and I think I probably went on more about that in my review, so I'll link that in the description. Back to the article here. So she never presents any real threat against the enemy she faces. Yeah, absolutely. She never presents any real threat against the enemies. Just one of many moments where she pulls back, she brings the authority to the role, but in escaping accusations of witchcraft, she doesn't really suffer or inflict suffering upon others. No, she doesn't really threaten or intimidate or do anything. It's the only thing truly holding back Whittaker in this role, because she's been a stellar performer by every other metric. Whittaker has brought a beautiful earnestness that sells the Doctor's innate love of the unusual and strange, but she has yet to have the opportunity to tear apart the monster she's encountered. As the Doctor's long-established arch-nemesis, the Master said in the Season 3 episode The Sound of the Drums, the Doctor chose his or her own name, and it refers to the man who makes people better. But at the same time, the Doctor's also someone who's totally comfortable sending Defoe to his death. No second chances. I'm that sort of man, the 10th Doctor Tennant said in The Christmas Invasion. There's no denying that Whittaker has found her grasp on an incredibly challenging role. In her hands, the Doctor is smart, intuitive, and compassionate, but the scripts still need to give her the moment that her predecessors have had before, the moment that makes us realize that the Doctor's face may change, but she is always the boss of us. Yes, yeah, I do tend to agree with this quite a bit. I would probably not use, her, him/her in every single one. Like, if I'm referring to a male Doctor, I'd probably say he. That being said, yeah, she needs a pair of balls, absolutely. And at the end of the day, that's pretty much all this article is saying, is that we need to feel like the Doctor is going to wipe out the Daleks, or, she will let people die if she has to. She will make the call to sacrifice some invading sort of species to save the people who rightfully belong where they're at. We haven't had any of that sort of writing, and I think a lot of that comes down to Chibnall, or as I mistakenly call him all the time, Chinballs, because I can't read and I'm very dyslexic and I kind of mix up letters all the time. But yeah, we need some of that. We need some of that badass, ballsy Doctor who's going to terrify us, and we need somebody who we can kind of not take our eyes off of. Somebody with that charisma. I don't know, what do you guys think? I know a lot of you have probably just tuned out the show completely at this point. There's still a lot of viewers. I mean, the ratings are slipping from what I've been seeing, and I might do another video on that at some point. But what do you guys think? Does she need... Is it just the writing? Is it Jodie Whittaker? What do you guys think? Because I'm kind of on the fence about her so far. If she's given something where she really, really needs that authority, and she needs to be ballsy and scary, I don't know if she can pull it off yet. I mean, if she can't, then I'll definitely say, yeah, it's definitely time to get a new Doctor. But we haven't even seen that opportunity with her yet. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you want to see that? Do you just want a new Doctor? Are we just done with the series? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I am MechaRandom42, and I will see you guys on the next video or live stream. Bye!